Good afternoon, Ms. Hall. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I'm muted. Good
I just,
afternoon, Commissioner Holmes, Tillman, and Ms. Epps.
good afternoon.
I'm also online.
I'm sorry.
This is Linda Hunt. I'm also online. Do you see me?
Oh, no, I can't see you.
Well, you know what? Because my video's not on, but the audio's working.
Oh, you
So
know
hopefully,
what? No, I needed to switch over. Actually, there's quite a few people on. It just showed three people, three persons.
okay, okay.
I know that was definitely me. But good afternoon. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Miss Hall, does it make any difference that I'm showing up with a Linda and the numbers on there? It doesn't matter.
Yes, you have the code to get into the meeting. Yep, that's
Well,
what it's showing up.
the name change has changed. That's all, but it doesn't matter. That's fine.
Okay. So Commissioner Hunt. Um, so right now we have Holmes, Tillman, and Hunt. We have Casey Wiggins at the Office of the Law. All right, that's all we have. National. Hey, Greg, I'm gonna forward something over to you. I want you to post it when I put it up. I mean, when I talk about it.
Okay, no problem.
And then I'm gonna send you something else. So. Greg, I'm sending you to save the date. So we have Commissioner Spencer.
Here.
How are you?
Good in you, Michonne.
Uh, Commissioner Gray. Hi, Commissioner Gray.
Hello there.
Hello. Thank you, Greg. All right, so let me see here. All right, just 1 second. There you are. Okay. Commissioner Williams. So right now we have Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Tillman, Commissioner Hunt, Commissioner Gray, and Commissioner Spencer.
All right. Well, it sounds like we have enough to go ahead and get started. Did Greg, did you email a copy of the agenda by chance to the commissioners?
I have it ready to be pulled up.
Okay.
You want me to post it now?
Yeah, whenever you get a chance. I didn't see it in my email, but
Got you.
All right. Okay, and we're recording. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August 2025 monthly meeting for the Prince George's County Commission on Common Ownership Communities. I'm Nicole Williams. I am the chair of the commission. We sort of did an informal roll call, but I'm calling this meeting to order. It's now 3:03 p.m. And then we will go into the roll call of the commissioners in no particular order. I don't know why it's showing like this. Oh, here we go. In no particular order in which they're on my screen. I see Commissioner Gray,
Present.
Commissioner Holmes. Okay. Commissioner Spencer, Commissioner Tillman,
Present.
and I'm missing someone.
Dr.
Commissioner
Hunt.
Hunt?
Oh, Dr. Hunt, yes. Thank you. Okay. And I know we have some of our partners, non-voting commissioners here. I see Casey Wiggin from the Office of Law. Also, I'm trying to see if I see anyone else. I think that's it
That's it.
right now. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we have a quorum. And on the screen now, you will see the agenda. And we'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Move, Madam Chair.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
All right, it's been properly moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. All right, the ayes have it. The agenda is adopted. All right, next we will go into greetings from the Office of Community Relations. And so I will turn it over now to Ms. Michonne Hall.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy end of summer. It is officially the end of summer. On behalf of Director Chanel Dickerson, welcome to the Commission on Common Ownership Communities monthly meeting. Thank you for joining our monthly call, and we hope that everyone is staying healthy as well as safe. My name is Michonne Hall. I'm the unit chief for the Office of Common Ownership Communities. Today, we have our staff in attendance as well, to include Juanetta Boucher and Greg Amobi. So the county executive is hosting a business leadership summit. Greg, can you put that on the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me
Okay,
1 second.
thank you. So the county executive is holding a business leadership summit for entrepreneurs, developers, and investors, local chambers, nonprofit, and service-based leaders, as well as our county agency partners on Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's at the Crown Plaza in Greenbelt, Maryland. Is the flyer posted?
Yes, it's posted.
Okay,
Do you
great.
want to see it?
Yeah, I can't see it because I'm looking at my paper. So yeah, so this is on Wednesday, September 10th. And if you need more information, contact our office and we'll definitely send you a copy of the flyer. In addition to that, on Saturday, September 27th, we're going to be hosting our second annual awards recognition and stakeholder reception. So Commissioner Gray is going to give a more detailed report, but by this time, everyone should have received their save the dates with the nominations tool. And so I will wait for you, Commissioner Gray, when your time comes up, but I just wanted to mention that in my report. If you have an individual concern, we are placing our email and phone number into the chat for you to contact our office directly. It is a better way for us to gather all the details, conduct the proper research, and respond accordingly. Lastly, on behalf of the Office of Community Relations, Common Ownership Communities Unit, and the Commission, thank you for attending our meetings and stay tuned for more information pertinent to common ownership in the upcoming months. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hall. And I see Mr. Weisberg here with DPWT. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Okay, if we can go back to the agenda, um, if you can, just because, again, I don't have this in front of me because it wasn't in my email. All right. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the approval of the July meeting minutes. All of the commissioners should have received a copy of the meeting minutes via email. Are there any, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes unless there are any changes.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay.
A second.
Second, oh, and Mr. Nicholson has joined.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Hello.
All right, is it properly moved to second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, the minutes are adopted. Next, we have unfinished business. And I think this is where we're going to get into what Ms. Hall mentioned earlier, our event coming up this September. And so I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Gray to give us an update as to where we are.
You're muted, Commissioner Gray.
Sorry, I could not come off mute. It took a minute. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, everyone. We are excited to announce that we have been given the green light to continue with the planning of our second annual community awards. And so, as Ms. Hall mentioned, email invitations and save the dates, or the save the dates, have gone out, and you should have received an email. And on that email, you will have information on how to nominate any community, any person within that community, any community event for an award. So last year we hosted our inaugural award ceremony. And so we are honoring our HOA of the year. There's also an award for an HOA member of the year, our condo of the year, so a condo board of the year, a condominium board member of the year, and then we're also going to be honoring co-ops, so the co-op of the year, as well as a co-op member of the year. Additionally, we like to highlight a community event of the year. So if there's an event that your community has hosted, we encourage you to nominate that event as well. So that way we can see all of the great work that's being done in your communities. And then this year we have a new award, and this is going to be an award that really speaks to and highlights the efforts of people within the community. So it can be a board member, it can also be someone that is not on the board, but somebody that really embodies leadership within this area. So we encourage you to please go online, take a look at the nomination tool. It doesn't take very long to complete. We just need to know the name of the person nominating, the person that is being nominated, and then there is a very strict 250 word limit. So we want to make sure that the submissions are succinct, that they give us the details that we need in order to make a decision. All of the nominations are due by September 7th. This will allow us enough time to review the submissions. That is a Sunday, so that gives a full weekend for everyone to complete their nominations, and then we will have them in hand ready to go September 8th, so that we can begin the review process. The event itself will take place on Saturday, September 27th, and there will be an invitation that will follow the save the date. On that invitation, you will be able to register to attend the event. We do have a limited number of spaces available to register. So we do encourage that when that email comes out that you take the time to register so that you can be counted. This is going to be a brunch event. It takes place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's going to be at the Crown Plaza in Greenbelt. From there, we're also going to have some stakeholders available. We will have some of our community partners, agency partners within Prince George's County that also help to support the HOAs and the condos and the co-ops. And so being able to come in and connect with them, see familiar faces, invite people to your communities where you may need some assistance or need some help. So we encourage you to come out and to participate. It was a wonderful event last year. We're looking forward to making it even better this year. So right now, we just want to encourage you to submit your nominations. Again, they're due September 7th. And the event itself is taking place on Saturday, September 27th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is at the Crown Plaza in Greenbelt. Are there any questions about the event or nominations?
So Commissioner Gray, I did want to add that we have our guest speaker. It's Don M. Ballman, the Chief Executive Officer for the Community Association Institute. So we are bringing the Community Association Institute to Prince George's County. So this is definitely a big deal for us. That is our legislative, education, and advocacy organization that supports the common ownership community members. So they are excited. They're bringing their chapters, their Washington, D.C. chapter, as well as their Chesapeake chapter to our event as well. So I'm super excited, as you can tell. In addition to that, we are still accepting sponsorships. We actually have really gotten a lot of great feedback from our management companies. So we are looking for this event is going to be even better than next year. We're definitely elevating in Prince George's County. So
awesome. Thank you. I was just going to wrap up with sponsorship opportunities. So just to kind of reiterate, no sponsorship is too small. There are opportunities to set up tables. If you'd like to set up a table and distribute information. If you would like to place any items in our swag bag. So we will have gifts that we're going to be distributing at the event as well. So we invite you to look at the various sponsorship opportunities so that you can get in front of this wonderful group of Prince George's County residents. And that concludes my report.
All right, sounds great. I'm really excited. I'm really excited that Ms. Bauman's going to be joining us. She's from the national organization, the CAI, and is the CEO of all the chapters across the country and even the international chapters that we have in certain places abroad. So super excited about that. So make sure you nominate your community and your peers. I'm really looking forward to this event next month. So, all right. Let's see. We're still under unfinished business. Are there any other unfinished matters that we need to address? Nope. Okay. All right. So then I guess we will get into new business. And for new business, it's August. So we are going to talk about budgets. Everyone is getting ready for budget season. I actually had a phone call with a client today about them adopting their budget for the next fiscal year and when they have to do it and, their annual meeting coming up and all that other fun stuff and just making sure they were on the timeline perspective, following their bylaws and the Maryland Condominium Act. And so it is that season. And so Ms. Tillman, Commissioner Tillman, has put together a great presentation about budgets. So I am just going to turn this over to her.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Commissioner Tillman, and I will be discussing today about association budgets. Greg, are you going to share the presentation or do I have sharing ability?
I got you. I'm gonna share the presentation.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Give me 1 second.
No. So again, as Commissioner Williams has stated, the budget is one of the most important steps within understanding your association. So as soon as we get the presentation up, we can start.
And while we're waiting, I just noticed that Sherry Connor from MMCPPC, who's one of our other non-voting commissioners, is also with us today. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Shucky Ducky. All right, so again, today we are going to discuss about understanding the association budget and why it matters. And it is going to help you understand how your budget impacts the association's financial health and long-term future. Please, next slide, please. All right, so we are going to come to one of our wonderful associations called Harmony Gardens. So again, we're going to utilize this just as a template. Next slide, please. One disclaimer we most definitely want everyone on the call to understand is that not all associations are created equally. So again, this presentation provides general information about association budgets. If you have a question about your specific budget for your association, please reach out to your management company or to your board of directors along with OCR as well. Again, the contact information is in the chat. That way, if you have any additional questions, we can address them there. Next slide, please. All right, so why does my association need a budget? This is a question that is asked many times by many homeowners. So that budget for your association is a financial roadmap. Okay, it guides your community's financial decisions throughout the year. So that way you as a unit owner, you can see where every dollar is going to within the association. And then there are also, legal obligations. It ensures the association can meet its financial and fiduciary responsibilities. Because again, dependent upon what the association owns is dependent upon what is budgeted for. And again, you need asset maintenance. So you want to protect and preserve your community's shared assets and infrastructure. That can be street lights, that could be sidewalks, curbs, playgrounds, pools, clubhouse, walking paths. Each association is different, so each budget is different. And then again, planning for a future. If you live in a developing community, one thing I most definitely want to let you know is brand new today, but tomorrow always comes. And in 20 years, that roof may need to be replaced, or that pool needs major repair, and that pump system. The budget, as many have heard about the reserves, that is where those funds are allocated within that budget. Without a budget, there is no control, no transparency, and no stability. Next slide, please. So who creates the budget? The budget is primarily drafted by either your management agent, the board of directors, or in some associations have a budget committee. Please understand the review, modification, and final adoption are critical functions of the board. So when management creates that draft, management is reaching out to your vendors. They're reaching out to your insurance agent, asking, will there be an increase in premiums this year? Or do you see any increases? Same thing with your landscapers and all vendors. The goal is to get as many solid numbers as possible. And then, then making that educated decision or guess based upon your current financials on where other pricing should be. Just a prime example of that is snow. No one can ever predict snow. So one of the tools we utilize is we may take the average sum of what you paid for snow over the last 5 years and allocate that into the budget. Because again, no one can predict snow. But there are also required budget items. You must itemize the income, the administration, the maintenance, utilities, general capital expenditures, and your reserve allocations. And if you have been on these calls before, you're probably very aware of the reserve study requirements. And this is common components that are over $10,000 for your association. And it should be an independent reserve study at least every 5 years. And new HOAs probably will need one within a year. And then also you may look at your association and say, well, we don't have a lot of common area. Why do we need a reserve study? All we have is a monument. A brick monument can average around $30,000 depending upon the size. So please reach out to your management company on that as well. And then also the budget adoption. That budget must be adopted in an open meeting. Notice sent out to lot owners. That budget should be in your hands for at least 30 days for review prior to the open meeting of the board to where homeowners can ask questions of the budget and then adopt them. Again, there are also spending limits and amendments. Expenditures increasing assessments by over 15% may require an approval or a special meeting. And then again, HOAs can levy for unexpected expenditures governed by the association governing documents. These are what is called special assessments. Next slide, please. So as I spoke earlier, all associations are not created equal. So that's why a lot of times when you ask a question about your budget in a general forum, there may be a pause because again, your association budget covers for your association. So there are different types. There are amenity-rich HOAs. These are ones with pools, trails, tot lots, and clubhouses. Then you have those that are infrastructure heavy. That's an HOA. They may own the roads, street lights, sidewalks, and storm drains. Down to the minimum, which we discussed earlier, with just a maintenance sign or just limited landscaping. And the same also falls for condos. There are condos where they own the roof, siding, plumbing, stairways, hallways. Limited condos, which is shared walls, parking lots, elevators. And again, there are some that are just condo in name because they have very minimal shared. So based upon your association structure and amenities, again, that is how the budget is allocated. So always just remember, there could be a full service community that have public roadways, or there could be a totally public association with private roadways. Next slide, please. All right, so there's actually an anatomy of a budget. So your assessments is the main source of revenue. Again, excuse me. So the main source, and then there's also, you have late fees. These are for missed payments, interest. This could be interest on reserve accounts and other accounts, fines, rental leases, parking passes. There are different things for each association that can go into the income. But then that income has to cover the expenses, which is your building maintenance, your grounds and landscaping, utilities, professional services, and insurance. Doesn't mean because you don't see it outside, doesn't mean it's not an element of your association, especially the professional services. That reserve study has to be done by an engineering firm. Your CPA is the one that handles your taxes. You may have, a forensic audit or, or capital expenditure planning where you may hire a professional. These all play into the association financials on that budget. Next slide, please. All right, so here we go. The power of reserves. As once wise homeowner board treasurer told me, when you fail to plan, you plan to special assess. So understand, if you're not funding those reserves now, down the road, it can turn into a special assessment, especially if a crater opens up in the middle of the parking lot. Everyone's going to call, you want it fixed immediately. The association has to have the funds. So again, what is a reserve fund? It's a savings account used for major replacements of community assets, such as your community house, swimming pool, sidewalks. And then again, that reserve study is a professional evaluation of the major components within your association. Without a reserve study, your association is flying blind. The same way as when you set up your payroll, you set up for your 401k and other interest-bearing accounts working towards your retirement. Think of your reserve as the same way. Eventually, your pool house is going to reach retirement and it's going to need replacement. That is what those funds are for. Next slide, please. All right, so what does a healthy budget look like? A fully funded association is reserves that are met or exceed the recommended level. Routine maintenance is proactive. Reactive maintenance is way more expensive than proactive maintenance. Financial planning is forward thinking. No deferred maintenance backlog. And that backlog is, well, we know we need to get this done for the pool, but we can push this to next year, just kind of put a Band-Aid on it. And also that fully funded association, it helps with your property value. And again, what an underfunded association looks like. Deferred maintenance that is visible throughout the community. Increased risk of emergency special assessments. The money comes from the association, which comes from your assessments. So when the funds are not there through the association, those repairs are deferred. You have legal or financial exposure to board members, declining property value, and higher long-term costs due to a reactive approach. Flat assessments is not a sign of success. They are often a warning sign. If your association's dues have been the same for the last 5 years, think of it on the opposite. If you're working a job with no raise for 5 years and your expenditures increase, eventually you move into the red. So again, association, when you review the budgets, you want to make sure those accurate numbers are in there and review what that increase is. Again, the increase would be a decision of the board of directors. Next slide, please. So that is the next question. Why are my assessments increasing? Inflation, that's top number one as of right now. General costs arise, reflecting everything from supplies to contracted services. So the price of paper has gone up, also the price of labor. Rising contractor costs. Again, contractors work, they have to pass through their costs when it comes to materials, labor, different aspects of operating their business. It's a pass-through cost. So those costs are always passed through to the consumer. Aging infrastructure. Again, roofs only last about a good 15 to 20 years. As things get older, it costs more to make the repairs. And if replacements aren't done timely, it's based upon your reserves, then that aging infrastructure will eat more and more out of the operating costs because you're at that point chasing your repairs. And then also insurance premium hikes. Right now, the insurance market, especially for condominiums, has been the wild, wild west for probably about 2 years now. And we have seen condo associations that are getting increases, not 100, not 200, but up to 300%. And they're outlining different requirements for the insurance. So just always remember, if costs go up and assessments stay flat, something must be cut. And that something is usually your community's quality of life. So if your pool is not open, but the dues remain flat, just think of it in that aspect. Next slide, please. One thing a lot of boards want to avoid, but it is essential, is collection matters. Your budget is built assuming 100% of homeowners pay. One delinquent unit owner can impact everyone. So there are tools that are used and that are outlined in your governing documents. Issuing late fees for late payments. Collection notification. Turning that account over to the attorney for collection efforts. And the attorney moves forward with liens against the property. And foreclosure and sheriff sales are also an option. Again, when homeowners do not pay their assessments, there now is added what we call at least an allowance for doubtful accounts. And that is actually writing down your income from the assessments for unit owners that do not pay. So if they are not paying and the cost to maintain the association remains the same, that increases the dues amongst everyone else who is paying. So many homeowners feel that they're being punished for those that are not paying. And in actuality, there is some validity to that. But again, as you know, sometimes unit owners will say, I'm not paying because they won't fix the street. Well, they really not going to fix the street if you stop paying. It's a snowball effect. Less income means less maintenance. Yep. So when everyone pays, everyone benefits. And that increases the quality of life within your association. Next slide, please. All right. So again, associations are a not-for-profit. And when we mean not-for-profit, we're not talking about a 501c3. Oh, budgeting for present and the future. Thank you. So again, the association is not collecting these dues to make money. They are collecting these dues to maintain your association. The budget follows for the accounting equation of assets equal liabilities plus equity. Every dollar is allocated to operate and preserve your community. Next slide, please. All right, so again, just another list of homeowner common questions. Why did my assessments go up? Rising service costs, inflation, insurance, aging infrastructure. Why do we need reserves? To avoid large special assessments for roof, paving, and other systems. Can't we just cut landscaping? Possibly, but it affects your curb appeal, home values, and community pride. And where does my money go? Into services, maintenance, reserves, insurance, and operations. And if someone doesn't pay, legal collection efforts are authorized by your governing documents. So, understanding these aspects, on why your dues increase, it helps you to better appreciate the financial decisions that the board makes for your association and how it impacts your association. Next slide, please. All right, you can go to the next slide. Actually, this slide here, if anyone requests a copy, there is a video that actually outlines this presentation. Yep. Next slide, please. All right, so just again, final thoughts. Your HOA budget is not just numbers. It's a reflection of how your community values itself. A budget isn't just about maintenance. It's about stewardship, sustainability, and pride of place. So just remember, be an active participant in budget meetings. It leads for better informed decisions. Go to your meetings. Have a discussion with your board. Matter of fact, converse with your board. And be professional. Again, your voice is needed because sometimes it gives a perception that maybe your board of directors were not aware of at that time. Again, investing in your community protects your largest personal investment, your home. You see what the equity is in your home. And again, if you can watch from a well-managed association to an underfunded association, again, it echoes financial impact, not just for your community, but even the communities that are around you. HOAs are economic driving engines. And again, it protects, a well-maintained community fosters stronger relationships and a higher quality of life. I think that is it. So if there are any questions, we are happy to assist. And again, due to the personalized nature of each association budget, we are unable to answer specific questions about your individual community finances. But again, we are here to assist however that we can. And yes, I think everyone can get a copy of the presentation.
Yes, they can.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Tillman.
I was going to say, yeah, if there are any questions from anyone online, I'm happy to answer any questions that's needed.
All right. Any questions? Yes, Mr. Odom.
Talking.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for that informative presentation. I have a question that's sort of related to the matter regarding foreclosures. I know it indicated that we needed to have our assessment set and our budget set to actually cover those events should they occur. But interested in more of I'm not sure whether they were speaking of the HOA or the common ownership community initiating foreclosures, but that's not the nature of my question. My question is a bank foreclosure. We got some costs that occur, such as maintenance of the grounds and that sort of thing. And I know during the real housing crisis we had, a number of other communities suffered this thing as well. And I don't know whether there was some legislation passed or some measures passed to sort of assist common ownership communities in addressing these matters. And I wonder, is there anything that you can guide me to that will assist me if you follow what I'm asking?
Right. So in regards to a foreclosed property, has the bank taken full possession of the property and the property's been vacated?
The property is vacated and they've given us a date in which they do take full responsibility.
Possession of the property. Okay. So again, a foreclosed property that's not being properly maintained can be a burden within the association. I am an out the box kind of thinker. So I'm trying to make sure I answer this as properly as I can. There are avenues within the county that you can assist with when it comes to what we call zombie properties in the industry. So again, there are a couple of things. If you are in contact, if the association is in contact with the bank, that's actually a good thing. Let them know what the maintenance schedule is. A lot of times they will come out and they will cut the grass and things of that nature. Just one thing of experience is if you kind of jump in and, do things on the property, the bank can think that it is occupied. But again, when it comes to a foreclosure and this is for a unit, first thing is most definitely speak to your association's attorney. Let them guide you through what is needed financially. If the association is owed funds, is the bank going to cover these funds and things of that nature to get, the cost back from those units? Again, if it is more of a maintenance standpoint, again, the management company that is hired by the bank to actually manage the property, they can happily assist you as well. And then if you're not getting any responses at all, again, reach out to OCR and see if there are any additional resources, especially for zombie properties, to try to get the bank active within that property. A lot of times when the county can assist with stepping in, then they will get the property cleaned up, fixed up, and then try to sell it to get off their books. So it's not a direct answer to your question, but a really great position on where to start. And one place to start would be with your association's attorney.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. The next hand I see up is Ms. Sheila Dent.
Yes, I have a question as it relates to budgeting and your reserve fund and your delinquencies, because we have a very small community and our struggle is trying to reach that quote unquote fully funded reserve fund while balancing what we do with our operating budget. Any suggestions or thoughts about what we might be able to do, because our delinquencies are giving us the biggest challenge? And it's not that we're not in the legal process, but that takes so long. By the time, it's like, I can tell you, I think we've got one that's been going on 2 years.
Yes, and that is actually pretty common because again, when the delinquency rate is high, the very first thing is sit down with with your association's collection attorney. What items or what product can you provide to assist us with collecting these additional funds? Because again, you want to make sure you know what your legal guardrails are. You don't want to go and bang on someone's door and try to take the money from them. The attorney's not going to advise you to do that. But again, there are other avenues as well. And if you have those that are going over for years, again, your attorney is going to let you know if the debt is deemed collectible. Your attorney is going to advise you if garnishments or liens may be possible. Because again, based upon the financial situation of the unit owner plays a lot. Again, if you have unit owners that are reaching out for payment plans, be reasonable. That's one of the biggest recommendations is if, someone is willing to pay, try to work with them, be a neighbor, as well. But again, you want to see what those guardrails are and how you can collect those dues. And again, that your association's collection attorney is going to be your main point of contact for that. Because again, it can go for years. But again, and also if people feel that they can reach out and they can be worked with, that actually helps as well.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The next hand that I see up is Miss Karen Hamilton. And I think after that, I'll go to the question in the chat.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you so much for your presentation. It's quite informative. I am in a new community that is in a transition process over to the HOA. My question in particular is who determines who creates the budget? Is it the management company? You mentioned at the beginning it's either the HOA or the management company, but who determines that? Specifically, if you do not see it in your bylaws.
Right. So the budget is normally drafted by the management company, the board of directors, or usually a budget committee. Management side of it, and again, even with the board and the committees, the information has to be provided on the financials. So that's where the draft comes from. So the legwork that's being done is reaching out to vendors to see what the numbers are going to be for 2026. So those are where the numbers come from. Ultimately, the budget is reviewed and presented by the board of directors. And that budget goes out to all the unit owners, and then unit owners will participate in a budget meeting. That way it's answering all of the questions. Now, I believe at the beginning of your statement, you stated that you're in a transitioning community. And did you mean that you're transitioning from the developer to homeowner control?
That is correct. And we understand that the developer has taken upon themselves to change the management company. So I guess one of the concerns is if it's been drafted by the former management company, we're in a transition process. How do we, as a community, know that this is being done in good faith, that we're actually getting the budget, accurate, since we're getting a new management company. There's a lot of concern around that because so many things are happening parallel and at the same time. One question is, who is determining who's drafting this budget? Is it the old management? Is it the new management? And then how does that work with a newly elected HOA?
Yes. So that's it. Who drafted it based upon the timeline? So let's just say starting today. Today is August the 27th. Most budget seasons on a fiscal year for management usually starts in June. So the prior management company may have drafted that budget and provided it to the board of directors. Your board of directors does not change. Now with transferring to a new management company, the budget also does not change. It may be reclassified in certain areas. And what I mean by reclassified is I use the term allowance for doubtful accounts. Prior management may use bad debt. So the new management company is going to take the current budget and just change it over to allowance for doubtful accounts. It's the same exact thing. Again, that budget, even with drafted, it goes to the board of directors for review. The one thing I will express, it is in no one's best interest to defund or inaccurately provide a budget. It only hurts the unit owners. So when the unit owners take possession of the property from the developer, a transition study is required. That transition study can be compared against your current budget. So as the new residents in the community, a open board meeting outlining the budget process, the transition study, and reviewing of that budget and answering questions is where, which is the best positive direction to move into. It is one thing doesn't have anything kind of to do with the other, because again, defunding the association is not going to help anyone. Putting inaccurate numbers in your budget doesn't benefit anyone, management, developer, or the association. I will hope that the three entities involved have what is called integrity.
I know we have integrity. I'm not sure that the developer has integrity. And I think the question would be still out there as far as the management company. I don't know that we've had the transparency that is usually duly in the process. And then by changing the management company in the midst of the transition process is very unsettling.
Yes,
so especially with, I know that the budget was drafted by the prior management company. But now that a new company is being switched in the middle of the transition process, it makes us it's very unsettling. So it's good to know that we have a I guess you say a final draft from the former management company. We just want to make sure that things are being done in good faith, and we're not really sure that it's not happening. But I'm glad to hop on here and listen to this. And I think I do have some further questions, not necessarily on the budget topic. So if you would be able to guide me as to who and when I could speak with someone with my other questions, I would be most grateful.
Ms. Hamilton, we are most definitely happy to help. Ms. Hall did put the contact information in the chat for her office. And again, we're happy to assist with any additional questions. I think the main thing at this point is you're kind of seeing more of the same, meaning that we weren't getting transparency in the beginning, and then now they're moving to a new management company. That transparency is still not there. Hopefully moving forward, whoever they choose, or, can give a communication protocol to keep the unit owners informed. If the unit owners felt a part of the process, I think that will solve a lot of the questions and issues and concern. So one thing that could be recommended to the developer is a budget committee. Say, developer, can we reach out to the community? Can we get 5 unit owners that may want to volunteer to work with the board to review the budget, especially since you're just transitioning from one management company to another? We want to be a part of the process. And most developers working with the association, their goal is for a peaceful transition. They want you to be informed as much as possible, so that way when they do transition, the homeowners will happily take their association and not fight against it. So I think that transparency will help a lot.
Well, we absolutely do not have that transparency, and we do not have that level of cooperation with our developer. And it is not a I'm going to venture to say a cordial process right now. I want to make sure I use the right words, and we don't have that level of transparency.
Well, Ms. Hamilton, I know Ms. Hall and her team will most definitely try to assist you, to the best of their abilities. And again, if you need anything additional, we're happy here to help. Did you have any other questions in regards to, the budget process? If not, then we can most definitely assist with your other questions offline if need be.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome. And if you can provide your information to Ms. Hall, either in the chat or reach out directly to them, that would be phenomenal.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. There were a few questions in the chat. I think we've addressed some of them. Mr. Holloway had a question And hopefully I'm getting the question right. So it says are we required to send out SOW through our present management company, and are the responders required to respond back through the present management company? And I don't know if that's related to the question from Ms. Hamilton or not.
Right, yeah,
Question.
I just need confirmation of the acronym of SOW.
Statement of work.
Statement, thank you.
Okay, thank
Just wanted to make sure we don't guess, so. Yep, so are we required to send out a statement of work through our present management company? Now, when it comes to statement of work, I mean, my brain is most definitely thinking of something that is more of a project vendor type of situation, not when it actually kind of applies to the budget. But
Well,
again, as unit owners, oh, I'm sorry.
and this is hello, thank you very much.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Uh, in reference to looking at pursuing other management companies,
Mhm.
we're in one now. Okay, we'd like to
Right.
pursue others, at least look what's out there. Are we required to go through the present management company to put out a statement of work? And are the responses required to come back through the present management company?
No,
you.
I wouldn't send my husband out to look for me a new husband.
Watch out now.
Because I don't think he's going to do a good job. No, it's not required to go through your management company or for the management company to seek new management. But I will state that if that is the goal of the association, it should most definitely be brought forth to the community in an open board meeting to maintain that transparency. Managers that work in this industry should understand if you're not doing a good job, you're not doing a good job. And if you got to sit there while the board is discussing, looking at other management, then that you just have to chew it sometimes. But at the same exact time, if the board is just going out just to see what's out there, pricing things to that, yes, the board can most definitely go out and review that. Because again, based upon your stewardship and your fiduciary duty to the association, you want to make sure you're getting your bang for buck. And you want to make sure what you're currently paying fits into industry market standards. Yes, that is your duty as a board member. So no, through your management company, I wouldn't recommend it. But again, just making sure it's announced in an open board meeting so that way the community knows that this is what the board is doing.
And I would just add, definitely send them a scope of work and send them
Yeah.
details about your specific community. As Ms. Tillman stated at the beginning of her presentation, no one community is like its next door neighbor. Every community is different and every community is unique. And so when you are out there doing a request for proposals from different management companies, you want to make sure you're providing to them as much information about your specific community, the amenities and things that you're looking for, because that pricing is also going to differ based on what you have going on within your particular community.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Williams.
No worries.
Thank you.
All right. I am trying to make sure I didn't miss any other questions in the chat. I don't see any additional hands up virtually or in person, though I do see Commissioner Strong has joined us, who is another one of our non-voting commissioners. So thank you, Commissioner Strong, for being here. I see Maria Epps asks if there are any other self-managed members to please email her offline. She dropped her email address in the chat there. So if you're a self-managed community, I'm sure she wants to hear from you and collaborate. But I don't see any other questions. So Greg, I don't know what's next on the agenda. I don't want to make sure I'm missing anything. If you can pull that back up for me.
I got you. Just give me 1 second.
The next thing should be Q&As.
Okay. I didn't want to assume. All right. All right. Well, all right. I guess oh, here we go. Okay. All right. So next is just general Q&A. I know the office has placed their information in the chat. You can definitely feel free to contact the Office of Community Relations with regards to any specific concerns that you may have. But this is a time where we do, if folks have broad general questions, we can't get into, as Commissioner Tillman stated earlier, not just around the budgets, but any other subjects. It's very specific, nuanced questions that are unique to your specific community. But if you have broad questions, we're happy to take those now. Yes, Ms. Dent.
I have two questions. One, I thought I saw something that said that there was going to be a session going over the legislative changes that had been made that would impact HOA. Did I miss that?
That was last month, Ms. Dent. Yes, we did
We
that
can
in
send you a
July.
copy of the presentation if you'd like.
That would be great. That would be absolutely fantastic. And the other thing is, I have reached out to the commission a couple times, and I'm still awaiting some response. So what do I need to do? Do I need to put my email address in the chat here so that maybe somebody can reach out to me?
Absolutely, Ms. Dent, if you would.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the next hand that I see is from Louis Wilborn.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good evening.
Yes. Okay. Good evening. Got a question. How do we determine if we have a vehicle that's parked in front of houses that's like over the limit? It's sort of like it's a truck.
When you say over the limit, do you mean it?
I'm assuming it's over the limit. It's for like a delivery truck, but it doesn't have no symbols or nothing on there.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Oh, my question was, is the roadway a public roadway? And are you stating that the truck has been sitting there over 72 hours?
It's a public roadway.
A public roadway, and the vehicle has been parked on the public roadway over the 72 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a 311 request.
Yeah, you would call 311. I
Right.
know earlier we had Mr. Weisenberg here from DPWT. I don't see him here. He might have had to get off.
And we also had Revenue Authority. They did come on and they did a presentation. But if you did put in a 311, put in a request with PGC 311, and then that will be forwarded over to the Revenue Authority, and then they will address it. When you put it in, it would be best if you put it in, because what they'll do is as they continue to update the ticket, you'll get that information directly.
Okay. So is there a way that I can find out the weight of a vehicle? Because the homeowner says they use it for personal use. And so and I wasn't too sure. I was trying to find somewhere in the language that says what's the limit of what's considered to be a commercial vehicle or just a personal vehicle, like a truck.
Does your governing documents have a restriction on the type of vehicles?
We do have a restriction, but I need to find out what Prince George's County one is, because I know ours can't supersede Prince George's County one.
And your streets are maintained by the county?
Yes.
Okay. So this is where the Revenue Authority will definitely come in.
Yeah.
When in your request, you do need to put exactly what's going on and actually you can put pictures in there. So I would send them a picture of the actual vehicle and put in the request. And you said the vehicle is not stagnant. The vehicle does move.
Oh, yes. He used it as in his opinion, he used it as a personal car. So
okay. Well, I think if the owner should be able to tell you what the weight is of the vehicle. Typically, when you insure a vehicle, it's actually on the COI.
Yeah, so he did. He did. He provided that to me, but I just need to find that that language in the law that says that he is okay to park that the truck in front of his Uber. So that's what I'm missing.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely seek guidance from the Revenue Authority on
Yeah.
that. Because you're
Okay.
self-managed, correct?
Yes. Yes, we
Okay.
are.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, the next hand I see is from Miss Maria Epps.
Good afternoon, all. Just had a question. We have quite a few renters in our community, and question has arisen as to what rights do they actually have when it comes to participating in our meetings, parking, how many people they're allowed to have in the home, and so on. I was looking for some guidance on that.
In terms of participating with the HOA or the condo association, that's going to be dictated by your documents, probably your bylaws. I've seen both where some bylaws will allow renters to, serve on committees or vote on certain things and things like that. And I've seen other associations where they're not allowed at all. So that's really going to be very document specific for your particular community. In terms of the number of people occupied or residing in a particular dwelling, that's going to be based on the county zoning and regulations. And so if you think, and I don't know what the number is off the top of my head per square footage, but it's based off of the square footage of the home. So I think you could contact 311 if you think that the number of occupants is exceeding what is allowed under the county code, but that's going to be based on the county code.
Okay. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, our bylaws are very skimpy when it comes to that. So that's
Yeah,
what.
so if it's silent, they may not have the ability to participate. If it simply says members and the members are defined as the owners, and those are the ones that can participate.
Yeah, that's basically what it says. Okay. That's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see here. A lot of people are requesting last month's legislative changes, so I'm sure we'll get that out to you guys.
Yep, we have all the emails.
Yes, okay,
Mhm.
awesome. And then I see Ms. Smith asks, my association held elections. However, management refuses to release the results in full transparency. I understand law SB 758 goes into effect October 1st. What do you recommend? Even prior to the enactment of SB 758, if you are a member of the association, this gets back to that ownership thing, you do have the right to request copies of documents and records of the association. And so you can do a formal request in writing to the association requesting a copy of the election results. And that's under existing law. So you don't have to wait till October 1st to invoke that right that you have there.
And just to add to that, just a simple letter to your management agent requesting the copy of the election results based upon your rights. They have, if it's just 1 year, so I think it's 21 days.
Yeah.
Yep. They have to turn them over. They are your records.
Yeah, and she's saying they will not release. If that's the case, you could always file a complaint with the Office of the Attorney General. I know Ms. Strawn was on earlier, who is from the Maryland Attorney General's office, and they do entertain complaints as it relates to elections of common ownership communities. And so you could also do that if they're refusing to turn those over to you within the time frame that's currently in the statute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
May I just make a comment? Because I did put in the comments about Delegate Holmes being instrumental in getting that legislation passed, not only for the release of the records, but the transparency in elections. So I just so appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Smith. I'm sure Delegate Holmes appreciates the recognition. He doesn't get that every day. So we appreciate him.
I certainly do, because I was coming on here telling y'all, look, we need some teeth and we got law now. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions? Let me scroll back up to make sure I'm not missing anybody. No, I don't see any other hands or questions in the chat. Okay. All right. Well, then I think that concludes our meeting for August. And so we will be back here again in September.
No, we have our reception in September.
Oh, that's right. Oh, good Lord. Right. We just talked about that. Well, I hope everyone on here is going to join us for our reception in September on September the 27th. I'm looking forward to that. And then our next regular meeting will be in October then. And so, yeah, so thank you guys so much. The office will get to everyone who's requested copies of either this month's presentation or last month's presentation. Oh, and there's a question, how much is the reception? I know I should know these things off the top of my head.
There's no charge.
There's no charge.
There's no
Okay.
charge. We just ask that you register so that we have you accounted for in the meal count.
Okay. So there's no charge. Though I do know the space cannot hold all 100 million residents of Prince George's County. So, you know, but there is no charge.
Right. So when registration opens, please jump right in and register so you have a secured seat.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll get you guys copies of those presentations. Really appreciate you taking the time out of our schedule to join us. And we hope that you found today really useful. So thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.